Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Francesa podcast on the Bet Rivers Network, brought to you by Casamigos Tequila. Casamigos Tequila is brought to you by those who drink it. We come to you this evening after Game 4 of the World Series on the Mike Francesa channel, on the Bet Rivers Network, on YouTube. And we talked about it last night. You take this in small stages. You first get the dirt kicked on you, which they did. Now you try to become an annoyance, which the Yankees have. And now comes phase two. Tonight, the Yankees got off another bad start because of Freddie Freeman. Okay. They had to make sure they kept in touch, so they got Heel out of the game relatively early. They went to their pen. They pushed Weaver, though they didn't have to bring him back for the ninth. They finally made the Dodgers give up the game and go to their bad pitches and say, go ahead, pound away. But they needed a hit for that to happen, and the hit came from Volpe. The grand slammer turned the game around. It looked for a second when Freddie Freeman reversed the double play ball and made it a 5-4 game. You thought maybe if the Dodgers could have got a lead there, they would have unloaded the good guys in the bullpen and tried to win it there. Didn't happen. They never got the lead. If they didn't get the lead, they weren't going to fool around with their big pitchers. And they get ready for a game 5. Now, this works in stages. This baseball miracle, which is what it would be, this 100-to-1 shot, which it would be, and it's a long way from done. It doesn't get serious until these teams are back in the air going to Los Angeles for game 6. Then it gets serious. They have to play one more game first. And the pressure really starts for the Dodgers. Tonight was an annoyance. They thought early on, hey, maybe we're going to run this thing right out and get a sweep, do something historic. Didn't happen. Now this game became an annoyance, and you could tell as the game went on, the Dodgers were getting more and more annoyed. They started to morph into bad play. They struck out a lot. They made some bad plays in the field. They didn't make some plays they've been making all along. They didn't make the play at the plate. They didn't catch a pop-up behind the plate. They didn't make a play at shortstop. All of a sudden, all the things the Dodgers have been doing so well, they didn't do well tonight. Now the Yankees started getting some hits, but the Yankees, all they did, and listen, I'm not buying anything. Even the Judge base hit was against a pitcher who was getting pounded. I mean, let's be real. That was just a product of saying, here's the guy who's going to get us through this game. Score as many runs as you want. They gave the fans a chance to throw stuff on each other and have a party. Okay, that's fine. They had their moment, at least at Yankee Stadium. They didn't fall on their sword yet. But you want to leave Yankee Stadium for the Yankees, especially with Cole on the mound tomorrow. You want to leave Yankee Stadium believing that you can pull this miracle off and still not dying on your sword at Yankee Stadium. At least having forced a game number 6, which will at least make this a different series. It won't be the embarrassment it was on its way to being. It was mitigated a little bit tonight, not a lot. If they lose tomorrow night and Cole has a bad night and gives up 3 or 4 home runs, which we know he can do, and they lose the game, 6-3 or something, you're going to still say, boy, it was a bad series. If they force this back, Cole throws a gem tomorrow or throws a great game and the Yankees win 4-1 and they go back for a game 6, now this series has a completely different feel to it. The Yankees showed some guts. They showed some heart. They showed some tenacity. They didn't give up. They didn't lose at home. There's a lot of things that come with that. You want to call them moral victories? They're not exactly moral victories. They're just the show of what a team can do. But the pressure isn't on the Dodgers until they leave the Bronx without the trophy. Then I'm telling you, because I remember exactly the first feelings that the Yankees were in trouble was coming back to the stadium for game 6. and knowing that it was Schilling against Lieber, and the Yankee pitching matchups were not good the rest of the way, and they had just beaten the bullpen 2 days in a row from behind. There will be some real angst on that Dodger playwright if the Yankees beat them tomorrow. Because remember, now I don't know what Flaherty's going to be tomorrow. I expect Cole to pitch well. I expect the Yankees to unload Cole tomorrow, meaning that I expect him, if he's on, I expect him to be out there for 115 pitches. I don't think Boone's going to get him. He got knocked for going to get him at 88 pitches. He knows that Cole was unhappy at 88 pitches. You know what? He's going to say tomorrow, all right, you wanted to stay out here? Go out and stay out there. You could probably get an inning out of Weaver because he didn't go the eighth inning today. If he had gone the eighth inning today, if he had gone the ninth inning today and had gone over 30 pitches where he was headed, I think he wound up with 22. He wouldn't have pitched tomorrow. Now you could probably get an inning out of him. Maybe. You get an inning out of Holmes, you probably get an inning out of Weaver tomorrow. You're not looking for more than that anyway because you're looking for at least 7 out of Cole. All Cole's going to do after tomorrow is give you an inning or 2 in game 7, and that would be a lot. That's all he would do in game 7, in the middle of game 7. That's all you're getting out of him. So tomorrow's Cole's day to pitch the Yankees back into the series. Seriously, back into the series. Tomorrow's his day to do that. Now remember, Flaherty threw a 2-hitter at the Mets the first time and got pounded the second time. Absolutely pounded. So I don't know what you're going to get out of him tomorrow. And I don't know what you're going to get out of the Dodgers starters. Now, I'm sure the Dodgers think that they're going to get something out of both Yamamoto and Buehler, considering what they got the first time. But it's not a given. And the pressure will mount. The pressure will build, and it will really build if Judge does something tomorrow. I still didn't get any real feeling out of Judge tonight. I know he got hit by a pitch. I know he got a walk. Okay. I know he looped a base hit his last time up against a pitcher who was getting pounded. I'm not buying it. And I'll tell you something else. I thought Soto's at bats the last 2 days at Yankee Stadium were the worst at bats I've seen him have all year. I know he rang the ball down the right field line the last time up for a double, but again, that was batting practice. That was batting practice. You're not going to get another pitcher like that again. He was taking one for the team. I was actually surprised by Soto the last couple of days. You know, the Yankees had 10 runs on the board, and they didn't have a hit out of Judge, Soto, or Stanton. I didn't think that was possible this year. But they got a three-run jack out of Torres and a grand slammer out of Volpe and a home run out of Wells. That's 8 runs right there. So we talked about the stages. The first one is just be a pest, be an annoyance. The annoyance part is checked. Now you have the pitching matchup in your favor. And the Yankees, the fans feel better about the Yankees. The Yankees feel better about themselves, but I don't feel that they feel whole yet. I don't think the Yankees feel like, hey, you know what? We're invincible here. Tomorrow's game could give them some of that. By the time the Red Sox came back to Yankee Stadium, they were feeling it. They were believing. And the other thing was they had Schilling going in game 6. And that was huge because you know how big a game pitcher Schilling was. And I'm not trying to knock Lieber, but Schilling, whether you like him or not, whether you think he's as crazy as a loon, it doesn't matter. The guy was a great big game pitcher. I'm equating that series because it's the only one in baseball history And that's what the Yankees are trying to accomplish. No one's ever done it in the World Series. The only one to ever do it was Boston doing it to the Yankees. And it's quite ironic that it's the 20th anniversary, of course, and you're in the middle of this comeback right now, which I haven't watched yet, which is I just haven't had time. So I apologize because I haven't had a chance to see it. Now, I did live a big part of it because I did do a lot of it, but I haven't seen it. And I know it's gotten really good reviews, and the Barnacles I know did a great job with it, and um, it's trending on Netflix. It's gotten a lot of attention. I hope to see it, maybe before the series is over. It's a three-parter, but the Yankees win tomorrow. That'd be a fun thing to sit down and watch. Even though I'm sure it'll bring back a couple of pains if you're old enough to remember it. As someone who was in the stadium for all those games except game number 4, I remember it well. 6 and 7, I thought I have to admit, going back for game 6, I thought there was a good chance they could lose, and game 7, I thought they were in trouble, big trouble, because they had pitching matchup. The pitches were falling apart. Now that hasn't happened to the Dodgers yet, and a lot of that will be tomorrow. But if Cole goes out and does his job tomorrow and goes 7 classic innings, and the Yankees win, 5-1, and Judge has a couple of hits, so you check that box. All of a sudden, the Yankees are going to fly to LA with a swagger, and the Dodgers are going to start. I don't care what anybody says. They're going to start to feel some pressure. Doesn't mean they're going to lose, but it means they're going to feel some pressure. I don't think they feel a whole lot of pressure when the game starts tomorrow. To me, the pressure doesn't really start to really build up and to well inside that Dodger team until they lose that game tomorrow, until they leave the Bronx without the trophy. Instead of having a hell of a celebration and flying back home for a parade, they're going home to play baseball against a Yankee team that now has beaten them back-to-back games. And maybe you see a little more of the remnants that you saw late in the game today, where the Dodgers, after making great contact throughout the series, struck out twice in the 6th, 3 times in the 7th, twice in the 8th, and I don't even remember if they struck out in the ninth because I wasn't paying much attention. They didn't play crisp defense. They didn't do a whole lot offensively after Freddie's home run. And Otani's clearly hurting. There's no question. So you're not getting a whole lot out of him. Yanks still aren't getting a whole lot out of Judge. And I would put Stanton back behind Judge. I know why he did it tonight because it was a bullpen game. But I think you need to put Stanton behind Judge. I don't trust Chisholm. Chisholm's trying to hit every ball 100 miles. His immaturity in the series is showing. He has talent. I understand that. If he gets on first base, he can steal. I understand that. He can hit a ball 9 miles if he catches up to it. But he has let his emotions get the best of him. I want to put Stanton back behind Judge because I think it's better in the long run. And let's be honest, the Yankees have an edge tomorrow. That doesn't mean they're going to win. It doesn't mean somebody's not going to tag Cole for a 3-run homer. It doesn't mean that the Yankees are unbeatable by any stretch of the imagination, but they have an edge tomorrow in the pitching department. They have their ace on the mound. And if he can do his job tomorrow and give them an ace-worthy performance and pitch them back into game 6, well, you know what? all of a sudden this miracle is at least somewhat believable. You can at least dream now. Until that flight to LA is set and there's a game 6 set, there's not a lot to talk about because game 5 has still got to go their way. The Dodgers are still playing with complete house money. They played today like someone that didn't need the ball game. Okay, they did. As soon as the game got away from them, as soon as they gave up the grand slammer, what happened? Hey, they put the Yankees on with walks. They put the Yankees on with walks in the first inning. They got away with it. They put the Yankees on with a walk in the second inning. They paid a price. They put the Yankees on with hit by pitch batters and walks in the third inning, and they paid a price. That is what the Yankees have done to the Dodgers. Tonight, the Dodgers did it to the Yankees. You're playing teams of this caliber. You can't put extra base guy. You can't put extra guys on the base paths with walks or hit batters because they'll come around to score. And that is what happened. And that grand slam has kind of set the Yankees free to where they could take a deep breath. They hadn't really taken a deep breath since they gave up the home run to Freddie Freeman. They had been dreadful. They finally took a deep breath. They took a lead. They took a deep breath. And then they had some fun. And the fans had some fun. And the Dodgers said, you know what, guys? We'll see you tomorrow. Now, the Dodgers aren't going to say, we'll see you tomorrow. There's no reason to. They have an off day. They didn't use any of their relievers today. They have an off day tomorrow. They have no problem throwing guys tomorrow. So you're going to see their better pitchers tomorrow. From Flaherty on down. It's not a bullpen game. You're going to see a starting pitcher. And then you're going to see them give you quality out of the bullpen. So it's a whole different game. And they're going to come tomorrow looking from the kill from the first moment. They're going to come tomorrow looking for the kill. They don't want this to go back that way. They're going to come out tomorrow and say, guys, I know it's cold, but let's go get them. If the Yanks can answer that, make everybody hit the first plane for the coast, well, all of a sudden, you got something to have a little fun with. Odds are still stacked. Winning 2 games in LA will not be easy, but it's not supposed to be easy. But is it then possible? Because, hey, 48 hours before you had to win 4 games. Now you only got to win 2 games. Halfway home. But right now, they're only 25% of the way home. This was the annoyance phase. Now tomorrow comes the, hey, it's a real phase. Like I said, the pressure starts when they leave the Bronx without the trophy. That's when the pressure starts building on the Dodgers. And not a whole lot they can do about it. They play through it. And they might play through it well. We'll see. But it's going to be real. You know, through the years, I've not been the biggest Cole fan, let's be honest. A part of me doesn't trust him in these games. It's always something. Tomorrow, it's his game. He's not going to start game 6. He's not going to start game 7 under any circumstances. I'm not saying he wouldn't pitch in game 7. It'd be all hands on deck in game 7, and you'd probably see him for an inning or 2. I'm not sure how he responds on short rest and how good he would be or how live his arm would be. That would be something he'd have to work with the staff about. But the bottom line is tomorrow is his moment to put his stamp on this World Series. This tomorrow is his canvas, his and his alone. This is his game. If he wants it, he can have it from the first out to the 27th if he wants. In the real world, Probably you're talking 21 outs, but you know what? I don't expect anything less than 21 outs tomorrow. And the first 115 pitches, they're all yours, pal. Make the most of them. Show us what you got. Unload the tank. Be an ace. That's what's there tomorrow. Lead the way. Make this a Cole game, not a Yankee game, not not a Soto game, not a Stanton game, not a Judge game. Make not a bullpen game. Make this a Cole game. That's what I want to see. That's what I expect out of an ace. That's what I would expect out of Whitey Ford tomorrow. That's what I would expect out of Andy Pettitte tomorrow. That's what I would expect out of El Duque tomorrow. That's what I would even expect out of Roger Clemens tomorrow. And I, used to get on Clemens all the time. And then I said, you know what? Give me that game in Game 7 in Arizona, and I'll never say another word. And he did. He pitched a gem. So that's what I'm saying to Cole tomorrow. Give me that game. Give me 7 shutout innings. Give me 7 innings where the Dodgers never get a sniff. And turn a 4-0 lead over to the bullpen. Put your stamp on this team and on this series tomorrow. That's what I expect. And nothing less. See you tomorrow.